Hi, welcome to my YouTube site, and thanks so much for checking it out. So, I guess I wanted to give kind of an introduction and give you kind of an overview of the different resources I've got up on the site, as well as talk a little bit about what I want to do with the site, and also, I guess, give a bit of an invitation to anyone that wants or that or has an idea of something I should cover or an idea of something I should do with the site, I guess. So this is a screenshot of the page that you're probably looking at and probably watching this video in. And right now there are 6 different playlists up here. And I'm going to, hopefully expand this out. And I actually just started working on the Music Theory 101 playlist, which is kind of, more or less enough music theory. I'm kind of planning on it having it be enough music theory to kind of get you through high school, I guess, is what I'm playing for that playlist. But the videos I've got up here right now, I've got, I think, about 60 videos or so on how to read music. And this is, it's starting from a very basic point. It's, starting from, this first video is just kind of an introduction to quarter notes and quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes, and then we get into what time signatures are and stuff like that. And, it just goes kind of slowly, so it's, I'm trying to put in a whole bunch of examples and introduce new concepts with examples. I'd say if you want to watch these videos, I would, I've actually gotten some feedback, or I've gotten emailed some questions. Someone actually, well, actually, I think it's this question. I actually posted another video and put it into the playlist as a response to a question someone asked. So I guess I would say please feel free to ask questions and comment on the videos, and I will read the comments and respond to them and amend the playlist and put more videos into the playlist. Or if it turns out that one video is confusing, I'll go back and redo the video or something like that. So anyway, this is a collection of videos I've done on how to read music. And really right now I've gotten through about 63 videos so far, and I've really only dealt with rhythm so far. I'm kind of trying to make this playlist a bit more of an intuitive thing on how to read music, I think. Sometimes we, when we're learning how to read music, I think we can kind of introduce different notes a bit too quickly. And when you start learning how to read music, and immediately we start introducing. I'll write this down right now. It's like immediately when we start learning how to read music, we're introducing the treble clef on the 5-line staff, and immediately it seems like we're asking people to know where middle C is on a piano and stuff like that. And that stuff is all very important, but kind of what I think is sort of the most difficult part to understand about reading music, and the part where I guess the intuition really comes into play, is really going to be reading the rhythm. And, reading notes is definitely hard, but reading notes is more about, being able to form some really good muscle memory. And, reading notes is, I guess, more about individual practice time. Whereas reading the rhythms, can be really confusing. And, I guess what I'm almost doing in this playlist is I'm kind of treating it like they're treating reading rhythms like they're more like math problems. Like you just, have to figure it out, and there's a right answer and there's a wrong answer and stuff like that. And, we will get into in this playlist, I will show you where middle C is on a piano, and, what all the different clefs mean and stuff like that. But I'm really going to concentrate more on rhythm reading for at least the beginning of the playlist. And like I said, there are about 63 or 65 videos up on that playlist so far, and they are exclusively dealing with reading rhythm. So anyway, that is the How to Read Music playlist. Let me go back to some of the other playlists. So this is actually a playlist that, depending on where, depending on what you want to do with music, I've actually made a playlist on how to transcribe. And there's an introduction to that playlist that kind of gives you an overview of what I'm doing. But I will say this about it right now: if you have any aspirations of learning how to play jazz music, and really, if for any aspirations you have with music, you should definitely kind of know a thing or two about transcribing. But definitely, if you're a jazz player, you should definitely check it out and definitely know how to transcribe. I know that transcribing, like most of the way through college, was something that I kind of thought was this nebulous topic, and I never really knew how to do it well. And it wasn't until after I graduated I kind of I guess figured out how to do it a bit better. So anyway, that playlist is on how to what I call the write it down method of transcribing. And I'm going to do another playlist on transcribing that is the memorize it method. And if you want more information on that, you can watch those set of videos, and I tell you kind of the difference between those two methods that I'll put down. After that, I've got some beginning saxophone scales video, and this is kind of I'm going to do another playlist that'll be really saxophone 101. So if you just have a saxophone you found in your closet somewhere or something like that, the saxophone 101 playlist will be more what you're looking for. The beginning saxophone scales playlist, I've got a bit of an introduction that shows you how I would use it to practice scales, but mostly it's just going to be, and I'll actually load this in right now, mostly these are really just going to be, whenever these load, there we go. So it's just, there we go. So it's just music, and it's about as big as you would need it to be, so you could just read it straight off the YouTube channel. That's just a very basic major scale study that runs through all 12 keys. And it's also going to play along with you just a computer-generated in-tone pitch. And these are going to be helpful for two reasons. One, they're going to help you work on they're going to help you memorize your scales and become fluent with your major scales. And two, they're going to really help out with your intonation, because you're going to have an in-tune playback playing along with you when you practice these scales. So anyway, and these introductions are the better place to go that give you a better description of how to practice with those scales. So if you want to learn more, you can check out that playlist. These couple of playlists are still kind of in development, but they are going to be playlists that are going to be, I guess, more about jazz scales. And this is, I went to college at the Lamont School of Music, and what these are going to eventually be are jazz scale, the similar way I've got this beginning scales exercise. These are going to be jazz scales that are on the Lamont School of Music Jazz Sophomore Proficiency Exam, or Sophomore Proficiency, I guess, evaluation. So anyway, that's what those are going to be. They're going to be primarily for jazz players. And then the final playlist I've got are some calculus examples. I've been a big fan of the Khan Academy, which, if you don't know it, I'll put it up right now. It's www.khanacademy.org, and this is if you're having at all any trouble or you need to learn more about mathematics, this is absolutely the place to go. www.khanacademy.org. And anyway, I guess I'm kind of just practicing my calculus online. I've got a bit more of an introduction to that playlist, as you can see, introduction to the calculus playlist, that explains more what I want to do with that playlist. And anyway, that is the overview. So I'm actually almost out of time, but I guess the last thing I want to say is, if you have any suggestions for me, or if you want to get in contact with me, my email is c.mark.halberstadt@gmail.com. And yeah, I guess I guess that's it. So thank you so much for checking out my site, and I hope to hear from you at some point in the future. Thanks so much.